They just don't need this additional burden to start to have to deal with the Houthis again.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is kind of the first time that we're talking about the Houthis in quite a while. Also, it's been fairly quiet with Hezbollah, so I did want to ask you kind of the latest developments there. That ceasefire, is it still intact?
Well, I think if we've got any really good news to work through, that ceasefire is intact. Now, as I've said before, it's not a complete cessation of hostilities. Hezbollah is still trying to do some things in southern Lebanon, work supplies in there, and when that's identified, Israel is either doing a preemptive strike on the terrorist cell that's doing something or quickly counterstrike on that. The Lebanese army is stepping up. They're still not fully capable of everything. And Israel occupies about 5 key villages in southern Lebanon that actually were Hezbollah strongholds to attack into Israel. And until those can be secured, everybody has mutual agreement that Israel can stay there. So I think you're going to see that play out very well. And right now, that's probably the least of Israel's concerns out there.
All right. Mark Chandler there with Coastal Carolina University, a good friend of the show, always helping break down the latest developments there in the Middle East. Anything else you want to add about any of this? Obviously, a lot going on, but anything you want to add before I let you go?
Josh, as we can see, there's a lot of dynamics at play here. You know, the U.S.-Israel alliance, how we go into negotiations this week is going to play things out. You saw this week a big move by the Arab states, an Egypt proposal to try to work through and see if they can come to some sort of agreement of rebuilding Gaza. The U.S. and Israel turned that down. So you still have a lot of issues. This is a long way from being solved out there. And so I think you have to kind of look at how the balance is going to play out, what a realistic assessment for tomorrow looks like, and then what it looks like 5 years down the road. And I think both sides, both the Arab states, the U.S., perhaps even the European countries, need to really come together and come up with some sort of realistic, acceptable proposal to everyone out there. But it's a challenge, definitely.
And as you mentioned, the U.S. and Israel rejecting that, and then you have several European nations that have said they are all for it. So we'll keep an eye on that situation as it does develop there. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and have a good rest of your weekend.